with me, Jen Graziano. I'm a licensed funeral director who oversees my family's funeral homes, Cox and Graziano of both Mamaroneck and Greenwich, and the Zion Memorial Chapel of Westchester. Every Monday, I come to you discussing important topics and sensitive matters that all of us need to pause and reflect upon at some point. And through this show, I hope to provide the platform to do so. We welcome questions, comments, and calls if you are listening on 1460 WVOX, a Whitney Global Media Station, to 914-636-0110. Good morning in the control room. And good morning, Facebook Live viewers. Happy to have you joining us this morning with the man behind the camera from GreenwichLocal.com's founder, Tim Judge. Back from traveling. Welcome back to New York.
Thank you.
We almost took this act on the road, you in Arizona, me in Florida, but we're back here in the cold state of New York to come to you live with important information this morning. I am speaking to attorney Sarah Steckler from the Westchester Senior Law Day Collaborative. This is a wonderful resource in our community, and I'm excited to let Sarah talk to you a bit about the programs that she puts on through the Law Day Collaborative and the many ways that this organization is helping connect seniors to really important information. So often on this show, it is our mission to educate and inform, and there are so many issues that come about through aging and planning, and it's our goal to connect you to the right people. So Sarah, are you on the line?
Good morning, Jen. Thank you very much for such a warm welcome. I'm very glad to be with you today.
So happy to have you on. We spoke not long ago, but you know, what you do is so perfect and so fitting to be a guest on this show. I invite you to begin by telling listeners and viewers a bit about yourself and how the Senior Law Day Collaborative came to be.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jen. So I'm Sarah Steckler. I am a trust and estate and elder law attorney serving the New York metro region. And I'm also a co-chair of the Senior Law Day Collaborative, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which is directed at providing free access to legal consultations and programming for Westchester seniors and their families. The Senior Law Day Collaborative has serviced the Westchester community for 20 plus years.
Oh, really? That's impressive. I didn't realize it was that long of an institution. 20 plus years in the same capacity, Sarah, with web programs or?
Well, our web programs really took off really around March of 2020, where we had to change our direction from in-person services at senior centers, libraries, the Westchester County Center, and religious organizations, and we had to figure out quickly how to continue providing services, to answer questions, and to get access to key professionals to our Westchester County residents at a time where it really wasn't safe to be together face-to-face. So we moved into doing webinars. And since March of 2020, we've done over 40 webinars on various topics for Westchester County. And we've done programs on housing options, wills versus trusts, Medicaid planning, how to pay for long-term care, funeral planning. We've done programs on how to put your house in order, talking about caregiving, talking about access to services for home care, how to visit your loved one in a nursing home, during the pandemic. So we've really provided great information for anyone who was looking for really to get their questions answered. And we still are doing programming through our Zoom webinar format. And we are also offering in-person programming again, especially as we move into the warmer months, which is really terrific to be able to see everybody and to be able to provide those services to Westchester County. We also have a number of pretty exciting programs coming up in the next few months. We're doing programming on how to ask the right questions, an inclusive approach to estate planning, and we'll be featuring Katie Wong of Blakely Platt. We're doing a program on contested estates and guardianship, and we're featuring a terrific litigator, Irma Nimitz from McCarthy Finger. and we're doing a program on backup support and daily money management and budgeting and serving as a fiduciary with Amy Jo Neal. And we're also featuring our very own Jen Graziano and doing a program on what happens when someone dies. And we're so excited to have you on our channel as well. And that's going to be a really exciting program.
Absolutely. And you just reminded me I have some homework to get to you too. So I appreciate the reminder. Sarah, so it sounds wonderful. And I think, again, information is key and knowledge is power. And I want to just circle back for a moment. So the overarching mission of the Senior Law Day Collaborative is to provide information. Are you also kind of an organization that vets service providers and connects seniors? Or is it really more for the information gathering and then they take that information and go off on their own and find their respective service providers, but they go armed with more knowledge and the right questions to ask?
That is absolutely one prong of what we do, is making sure we are educating individuals and families to ask the right questions through verified fact-based programming. Because as you know, in this age with the web, there is good information and then there's old information and information that might not be right on target. So we want to make sure that our participants are hitting that target so they can get access to whatever services that they're looking for. But we also, through our collaborative of members, and we have over 150 professionals in various disciplines who volunteer with us. And everyone presenting, everyone doing a free consultation with an individual is a volunteer through our nonprofit who is looking to just really help people in our community and giving back. And that is really and truly wonderful, especially since we're 20 plus years into the organization. And we're part of a bigger organization called the Public-Private Partnership for Aging Services, with Westchester County as our public partner. And through that partnership, there's also other collaboratives like the Caregiver Collaborative, which also are focused on providing such terrific information to the community, but really focused on caregiving. So through that network, we are able to direct people who have touches with us to individuals who can help them. We always provide multiple referrals for someone to have a touch with, because it's up to the individual family to hire the right professional for them, and to make sure they're talking to more than one person, so they're getting to the solution that works for them in both a cost-effective way and to have that personality match with their professional.
No, that's absolutely true. You need a level of trust and comfort to go through these really often difficult topics. Especially planning ahead. There's a contemplation of your own mortality, your own health. So absolutely, personality and comfort are so important.
It absolutely is tricky because an individual or a family comes to an elder law attorney just like when they come to you, and they're meeting with you for the first time, and they have to talk about the hardest topics to talk about, which is, of course, their own mortality, their loved ones, where things might be peaceful or not, their money, and their health, and all of those things together, and how they work together, and what their goals are, and to get that down on paper. And they are really tough conversations, but I find that once a family has started the conversation, often a weight has been lifted.
Yeah.
And doing planning is often easier than someone thought.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that observation. They breathe easier and they kind of say, why did we put that off for so long? It was easier than I thought. So, Sarah, as you mentioned, services changed at the onset of the pandemic by way of the virtual versus in person. What I've come to find, even through offering programs that we've done through Cox and Graziano, is there's a tech savvy with seniors that's quite impressive, oftentimes better than my own tech skills. But have you found that there is an ease? It's become somewhat routine for the senior community to just log on and view your programs and attend these webinars virtually?
I would say that there's a portion of the senior population that's comfortable with tech, and that's also where one of our partners, the Westchester County Library System, can be really helpful because libraries are not just a hub of knowledge, but also the librarians, the staff, they offer programs on helping people learn how to become tech savvy. They offer assistive technology and provide access to people who haven't logged on to an internet program before. And for those who aren't comfortable, who haven't taken the step, I suggest that they check out the programming at their local library or ask the librarian if they're curious or they want to know how to, become internet and tech savvy. And the Westchester County Attorney General's office also offers great information on how to stay safe online, how to not be the victim of fraud or scam that targets seniors. So all of those pieces of learning are so important. And then the radio, which is what you do, is essential for the senior community because not everyone wants to sit in front of a screen all day. But how nice is it to be able to tune into your radio show and get the same sort of information? So I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, Sarah. Radio certainly is refreshing. Would you agree, Tim? I want to, for those just joining us though on 1460 WVOX, or if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, I'm speaking to Sarah Steckler. She's an elder law attorney and the co-chair of the Westchester Senior Law Day Collaborative. And Sarah, you're doing a wonderful job of outlining services. I want to, before I shift a bit to your own practice and perspective of an elder law attorney, I want to talk about the process for seniors to sign up. To anybody listening today who's intrigued by what you're offering us, is there a fee to join? Is this something that they can log on and just view the program? Or how do they become part of this network where there's so many invaluable resources and such great information for them?
That's a terrific question, Jen. All of our programs, all of our resources are absolutely free.
Wonderful.
We never ask, for anything from a participant. And to view one of our programs, you can visit us on our website, which is seniorlawday.info. Again, senior, SENIOR, law, LAW, day, DAY.info, INFO, online. And you can visit us and see all of our prior programming that has been done via webinar. And you can view them on our website. They're also available to view on YouTube. And we also have a register for events button on our website where you can sign up for any webinar of your choice that's upcoming, including a free one-on-one consultation. And our next date for free consultations with elder law attorneys, certified financial planners, geriatric care managers is Thursday, March 10th at 10 a.m.
So coming up.
It is coming up, and sign up is completely free. It's through our website. You'll be asked to enter what town you live in and your email address and a phone number. So we're able to book your consultation. If you're not tech savvy and comfortable with Zoom, the professional will call you during your consultation if you provide a phone number and the request to receive a phone call rather than a video meeting. And that's a really exciting offer that we provide once a month. And it's also really popular. So I suggest that anyone who's interested in a free consultation with a professional from the collaborative sign up. And maybe sign up for a program at the same time.
Wonderful. And I'll encourage everyone listening or watching to do the same. A free resource and, again, trusted, vetted advisors who could really just help. It's never too late. I always tell people who haven't done any planning, it is never too late. We really can't stress enough the need to take that first step. And what a great way to do this. And also to be connected to a library of resources and past videos. Just a wonderful, wonderful organization to be aware of. So, Sarah, shifting a bit to your practice and, your perspective as an elder law attorney, I want to touch on um, some pandemic related issues for a second. During COVID, obviously, there was that physical barrier to family members in nursing homes or to, in hospitals. And there were a lot of advanced directives that were all done virtually and electronically and without the time to have proper consultations with family members and counsel. Are you finding now the need for some administrative housekeeping to go back over any documents that perhaps were generated during this hectic time to kind of redo and review healthcare proxies, living wills, powers of attorney, et cetera?
Well, I'm not getting questions per se to review those documents. I think that if anyone has questions about the documents they have in place or don't understand their documents, they should absolutely reach out to their attorney who is always there. They're a trusted member of your team, taking one of those seats at your round table to keep your house in order and ask a question, send an email, pick up the phone, and make sure you're getting your questions answered. And the right professional for you and your family is always happy to answer those questions for you because as an attorney, we want you to feel good about what you selected, your choices, and we want you to understand what your choices are. And sometimes, it can be really confusing because the law is complicated, it's not always user friendly, but that's why we're here. We're here to help make it user friendly. So if you have questions, please always reach out to your trusted professionals to get them answered, or even to the Senior Law Day Collaborative, to ask questions.
Great advice, Sarah. Can you share some recent aspects of your client engagements, common issues or frequent issues that are emerging in the elder community that some wisdom you can offer to listeners and viewers?
Well, like May Carpenter, the Director of Senior Programs and Services for Westchester County, always says, is a failure to plan is a plan to fail.
Very
And
true.
it's always good advice, to today's the day to start, to put one foot in front of the other, to get your questions answered, and to put a plan in place that is appropriate, that works for your family. And really the questions that we get haven't changed so much, before the pandemic and now as we emerge. People always have questions about, do I do a will? Do I do a trust? If I have a trust, does it actually own my property? And if it doesn't, what do I need to do to make sure that plan that I signed is going to work for me? People always have questions about their powers of attorney, about their healthcare proxies, and about what choices they wish to make regarding end-of-life care, and getting families to talk about really tricky things like what happens if I get a diagnosis where I'll become cognitively impaired? What happens if I lose my vision? And making the choices that feel comfortable at the time. And they're just that, they're choices. And a family can, or the individual creating the document can always update their choices as life changes, which is a really important piece. Estate planning is not set it and forget it. Estate planning is a living, breathing plan.
Yeah.
That on paper.
It evolves as circumstance changes, even from divorce, birth of additional grandchildren, children. You're right, it's an evolving, living, breathing series of plans and documents.
Exactly. And the time to plan is always now. You plan for the circumstances you're in, you plan for the finances you have, and if they grow in either direction, you can always adjust and change that plan. And estate planning is more than just doing a will or a trust. It's talking about what your wishes are, and sometimes it's even talking about end-of-life wishes. New York State has a non-hospital DNR. They have a multi-form medical orders for life-sustaining treatment. There are pre-need, pre-planned funeral agreements that people can fill out. There's disposition of remains forms. And all of those documents help people discuss their wishes and get whatever they need to do in place. Their will or their trust as their core vehicle is a really important part of their estate plan because it directs where their stuff is going to go. It provides protection for their family because it gives families clear direction as to what that person wants.
And that's important as well, because from my perspective, when you're sitting at the table and you're just weighed down by grief, when you're asking what would mom and dad have wanted, it's a much different conversation than having documents right in front of you that says, okay, this is what they want. So, there's so many at each facet, from the healthcare to the legal to the end of life, and then final wishes. Having a plan in place is just so important. If I could ask you to if you had a list, the 3 advanced directives or legal planning documents that you believe everybody over age 65 must have, what would you say those are?
Sure, and I'm going to drop down your 65 to 18, if that's
Got
okay.
it.
Because at 18, you're a legal adult,
Yep.
and you should absolutely have your advanced directives in place. So our firm has a publication which we're working on now that you've turned 18, what you need to have in place, from rights regarding education to healthcare and finances. But the documents that everyone over 18, of course, everyone over 65 should have them, are your New York State Durable Power of Attorney. That document allows your agent, the person you've appointed, to manage your finances, to do everything under the sun that your attorney can think of that you could do if something happened to you. But of course, that document is effective prior to incapacity. So it's always important, to choose the right agent and to have a very open line of communication regarding what you want. And the power of attorney allows someone to pay bills, to do banking, and even to do things like Medicaid planning, should you not have any kind of long-term care insurance and have an illness that necessitates either home care or custodial care in a skilled nursing facility. So that's a really, really important document. Also, a healthcare proxy is an important part of that trio. That document often provides a HIPAA release, authorizing your medical professionals to speak with and provide medical records to the person you've appointed, also called your agent. And you can appoint a primary person and as many backups as you like. Backups are always key because you never know what's going to happen. And the other advanced directive that people often choose to do is a living will. And I describe that as the belts and suspenders to your healthcare proxy. The living will is your instructions to your healthcare proxy regarding end-of-life wishes, the kind of care you would like if you were terminally ill. And it's really a permission slip, a declaration of love to your family that you've thought about the kind of care you would want. So it's there for them, to make those decisions. And when they're in a really tough, heartbreaking situation, they don't have to think about, what you may or may not have wanted. You've outlined it right there for them, so that makes the decision easier.
Again, it's all, these are selfless things that you can do. There's such hesitation sometimes to go through this planning, but it really is the peace of mind that you're leaving behind to loved ones, or just leaving them along the way as you age. It's invaluable. Sarah, our time will soon come to a close, but I want to have you once again redirect everybody to the Senior Law Day Collaborative site and explain once again what they'll find there.
Sure. So on the Senior Law Day Collaborative website, you'll find our prior programs. You'll find our Ask Us button where you can ask us a question regarding legal, financial, or care management, and we'll get back to you and connect you with the appropriate person. And we also have a resources tab which connects you to facts about the Westchester County population, which connects you to the library system, which connects you to our publication, the Elder Law Q&A, various planning checklists, safety toolkit. We also provide resources in Spanish language. So for those who are not English speakers or readers, we have resources in Spanish as well. And we also recently added a planned giving tab, for those who are doing wills, that are doing trusts, who are charitably inclined, who would like to support our longevity and to be able to help us expand access to services in the community.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sarah, I'm sorry, we're just coming to an official close, but I thank you for this information. I look forward to working with you on your end as well. Sarah Steckler, the Westchester Senior Law Day Collaborative. It's a wonderful resource. Log on today, look at a prior show, get information, and sign up for that 15-minute one-on-one free consultation. Great information. I thank you for your time. And this is Jen Graziano thanking you for taking the time to listen as we took the time to talk. Have a great day, Westchester. Bye-bye.